Hello everybody, Trevor here. Before we begin, I just want to acknowledge a few screw-ups from the last video. In terms of longer diesels in the CGI series, I somehow forgot to mention Daisy. What on earth was I thinking? Anyways, here's hoping that they'll re-release her for Wooden Railway someday. Another thing I wanted to mention was that the only broad gauge locomotive introduced in the Thomas universe was Iron Duke. That's why I've mentioned broad gauge in the first place. One more thing I wanted to mention is that I knew I should have set that last video as a premiere for Valentine's Day this week. I mean, I was gonna do it, but I thought I'd upload it early just in case something bad happens to me in real life, like another seizure. So yeah, sorry for those screw-ups earlier. I was just having a very rough week due to an unexpected seizure while walking my dogs, which led to a broken left wrist, a bit tongue, and a scab on my right knee. And because of that, I had to go to the hospital and get surgery done. Now let's move on to today's top 10, which will be about my picks for non-sentient rolling stock for Wooden Railway. For this list, I'm only going to include those that appeared in the TV series. In fact, there are a bunch of them I think Entertainment or Mattel should have released a long time ago. Also, I was going to add some troublesome trucks, but since they are sentient, I'm going to exclude them from this video. So without further ado, let's take a look at these non-sentient cars and coaches, shall we? Number 10. More express coaches. Remember the red express coaches that were first introduced in 1998, as well as the Nafford Express coach from the earlier years, and the Duke and Duchess's coach in the 2000s? Well, I think this will be a great opportunity to introduce not only the Green Express coaches, but also Connor and Caitlin's coaches too. If they have the same length as the original Express coaches with the bogies, that is, then we'll all be good. Number 9. The Blast Booster 7. Many people consider this a ripoff of the jet engine from the season 6 episode Thomas and the Jet Engine, which explains why this is number 9. However, I'm sure some kids liked the Marvelous Machinery special and would love to reenact the events that took place by having a wooden railway model of the Blast Booster 7. Maybe they can make it motorized just like the first two jet engines in the wooden railway line, but it's just a thought. Number 8. Millies Red Narrow Gauge Open Coach. In the Fisher-Price era of wooden railway, we got a blue open coach that comes with a decorated Stephen. Wouldn't it also be nice to have a red version as well that comes with Millie? After all, we do need more coaches. Number 7. The Skarloey Railway Coaches. In wooden railway, the only ones we got were Ada, Jane, and Mabel, who were non-televised, as well as a non-sentient green coach that came in a set with Rheneas. Wouldn't it be nice if they also made blue and red versions of these coaches for wooden railway as well? That way, we won't have to customize our own models for our own series. But that's just me though. Number 6. The Slate Wagons. Remember the canceled Slate mine from the mid-2000s? Yeah, I wish that wasn't cancelled. In fact, the closest thing we ever got for Slate trucks were these generic cargo cars. I kinda wish they made regular Slate wagons as wooden toys because I thought they looked quite interesting and realistic, whether sentient or not. Number 5. The Works Unit Coach. Boy, we're having a lot of coaches on this list, huh? There are two liveries of this coach, the dark green one from the classic era, and the orange-brown one from The Adventure Begins, as well as in the Railway series. Since we got the original breakdown train in the classic wooden railway era, why not introduce the Works Unit coach as well? In fact, the breakdown train will be incomplete without it. Number 4. The Red Van with Christmas Wreath. This particular van made its first and only appearance in the season 22 episode Hunt the Truck, and is based on an LNER 12-ton van. Hey, did you know that Bachmann is currently making an HO scale model of this van? Well, here's hoping that Mattel will make it for wooden railway as well, because I love festive freight cars, and Christmas. Number 3. The Arsdale Railway Rolling Stock. These include the ballast hoppers, the open coaches, and the plank wagons. While they were sentient in the Railway series, but for the sake of this generation, I think they should make them non-sentient in the newer wooden railway line because that's how they were in the CGI series. That way, kids won't have to reuse standard gauge rolling stock for their sets. That is, if they want to make their own stories about the small railway engines. Number 2. Various British brakevans. Yes, I am actually very tired of the Sora line cabooses that were overused in the classic wooden railway system. In fact, the only British brakevans we got were Toad and the NW brake van. Seriously, we need more British style brake fans like the ones used in the actual show, and that also includes the narrow gauge ones. That way, fans like me can have a more realistic British railway setting for our own stories. Now, before we get to number 1, I just want to give some honorable mentions. The Well Wagons. I don't know if these will ever happen anytime soon because Mattel likes to be lazy at times. In fact, the only thing we've gotten so far was the forklift flatbed that came with Call D back in 2005. Though it would be nice to see more than just that. The Refreshment Ladies Tea Shop from Season 7. I decided to omit this one because it only appeared in the model series, and I seriously doubt that Mattel will make a wooden model of this modified coach. The Defused Gunpowder Wagons. Same reasons as with the Refreshment Ladies stand from Season 7. The Plant Wagons from Season 3. They would have been number 8 because we already have the log cars for Wooden Railway, and I think that's quite enough. And the number 1 spot goes to Emily's coaches from the original series. I seriously don't understand why Hit Entertainment never released these 2 coaches in the first place. I mean, they were made for Tomy, Trackmaster, and Bachman, so why not do the same thing for Wooden Railway? Mattel, if you're watching this, which I doubt, then please, I beg of you, release these 2 coaches as wooden toys at once. I'm sure some kids would kill for a passenger train set with Emily and her 2 coaches. And no, I don't want the All Engines Go version, thank you very much. Now let me know in the comments section below on which of these rolling stock pieces you would like to see be made into Wooden Railway. Do you agree with my list, or do you have your own personal preference? This is Trevor Davis signing off and saying, Happy belated Valentine's Day!